Morning world from Lotus Valley, Thursday morning. Bit of gloom and doom in the sky today, but it's been a nice break actually over the last maybe 7 days. Temperatures dropped right down to perhaps a daily average of maybe 32, whereas before it was probably daily average about 38. So nice cool change has come through. It's kind of the winter, supposed to be the winter, but of course 33 is not really winter, but anyway, it's winter by Thai standards. So a bit of a cool break, makes life a bit easier. Get a bit of relief for the turf out there in our clay soils. Something a bit exciting happened about 3 weeks ago. We broke ground on a hotel, and I'll just get round in the background there. That's the hotel that's being built now. 40 rooms, stage 1, 40 rooms. So that will be a big help for our golf rounds, of course. And that should be finished around October next year. And we'll have a bunch of other activities involved with the hotel, a bit of recreational stuff for after golf, and yeah, a few other things. Obviously with F&B that expands a little bit. Perhaps we'll get a bar going. So yeah, quite exciting for next year actually, the hotel getting built. Doesn't look like much right now, they're just putting the pilings in. Hear the machine ramming them down, but yep, it'll get there. Plans look good, looks quite nice, and yeah, not too far from the clubhouse, which is just in that area just there. So you'll be able to walk across to the clubhouse, view of the 3-hole practice academy, and yeah, we'll have some transport. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Much better for our business, and hopefully we can fill those rooms with some small groups, and from Bangkok and maybe Pattaya, and maybe even from overseas. So that should be good. Quite interesting, the kind of the work environment these guys have got. We'll head down in a second and I'll show you what they've set up for as far as accommodation, because there's going to be about, I think I mentioned maybe once before, but if I didn't, there's going to be about, in the end, about another 80 people on staff to get this building, the hotel finished. So yeah, I'll take you down in a minute and I'll show you what they've set up for their living quarters. So this is the little living quarters of the workers that are building our hotel. Obviously pretty rough, pretty low standard, but that is how it is. I guess most construction sites around Southeast Asia, when you travel, developing countries, they look pretty much, their accommodation looks like this. It's different standards. Singapore has quite good standards. They have the blue rooms. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they are blue. Their containers are blue. They're quite good, air conditioned, quite high standard. But here in Thailand, this is what they've got. Bit of washing on the line there. Over my left shoulder is a toilet facility, and they've even got a satellite dish set up there. I think they've rigged into our power somewhere, just up there. That's okay, we know about that. So yeah, that's their digs for the duration, and I guess eventually the whole area will probably fill up with a few more sheds for the rest of the people, if there's going to be 80 of them. Oh, and they've set up a little bit also down just behind the construction of the hotel. There's a few bits of accommodation set up. So yeah, that's a bit of an insight into their little world. That's okay, they're happy with that. Their little community, so far so good. They've behaved themselves, just keep a bit of an eye on them. Hopefully there's no big parties, but anyway, they're all good though, and yeah. Well, today's weather is a far sight different than yesterday's weather, that's for sure. Big difference. It's amazing how much, just a bit of sunlight, how much better the golf course looks, obviously, with a bit of sunlight. So that's good. Good shape today, right before the weekend. All looking pretty good. Just a quick note on the digs I showed you, on the contractors' accommodation for their staff. That is the contractors' accommodation. We don't have anything to do with that. We have accommodation for our staff, and actually it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. shout out to Craig Wood, the new CEO for the AGCSA, the Australian Golf Course Superintendents Association. Just going to say that he's obviously had some big shoes to fill there, but he's done a good job so far, and I'm pretty. It's pretty pleasing to see the AGCSA out on social media a lot more than before, and getting to see a lot of the things that all the state associations, not just from golf but sports turf, what they're doing, and the progress and the things they're trying to achieve. So that's good. I think that's really good for the industry, and I think that's the way forward. Social media is certainly an important part of life these days. Love it or loathe it, it is how it is, and you've just got to sort of deal with it and either get on board or sit back and let it take its ride. But anyway, good job there, Craig. It's certainly good to see so much going on in Australia, and we haven't really seen before. We saw a bit before, but I guess it's there's a lot now. Every week there seems to be groups of people meeting and discussing things. I think this week they were discussing how to move the apprenticeships forward, how the education side of things, so that's really good. So yeah, well done AGCSA and Craig Wood, and keep that up.